Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Best Place for Long-Term Stock Investors. Now, in this video, we are going to share with you what are some of the top tips you need to take in order to become a really good investor. Hey guys, as usual, none of what we say is financial advice. What we say is purely educational. Right guys, before we begin, just to let you know, on the 1st of December, 8:30 PM, we will be reviving our deep dive series. And guess what? It's going to be on gloves. So if you want to hop on the early bird pricing, you need to sign up in the link or the comments and make your purchase before the 27th of November midnight so that you can get a 30% discount. Okay guys, so let's start off with describing who our investing heroes are. Actually, I think you may be watching this video thinking, well, we're a couple of guys, nobody's like us, think that we are great investors. We're not, but what we can tell you is that we stand on the shoulders of giants and we learn from that, and we're going to try and transmit and share with you these lessons in this video. Now, the three guys that I would say that has shaped personally mine and even your own investment style, right, is, okay, in the middle, you have Warren Buffett. That's somebody a lot of people know. On your right, you have Mr. Peter Lynch, who also a lot of people know. If you know, we've always recommended the book, Common Stocks and Uncommon Profit. But maybe the guy on the left is somebody you do not know, by someone that is very notorious, very controversial. But I do think that he has a lot of very good investing insights into, stocks when it comes to, just making money in general as well. So,
you haven't reviewed what's his name?
Yes, of course. So the guy's name is Martin Shkreli. I believe he's an Albanian immigrant to the United States. He was recently convicted for securities fraud, but he's best known for jacking up the prices of very specialized drugs, right?
Yeah, but 500 times.
Many times, right? So that's why he has a lot of controversy. However, nevertheless, for us, it's all about learning from people who are good at investing, regardless of their character and all that. So let's start on. And I think the first advice is that we need to have some sort of affection towards reading. Now, I think this is very important because I think in the modern world, we all want to rely on video, sound bites. That's why TikTok has become so successful, right? And reading is almost feels like going cold turkey at it. You guys can actually try this. Actually, you can try this, but I don't recommend this. Why don't you just go on TikTok for a month? Okay, you go on TikTok for a month, consume a lot of it, and then you start reading again. What you come to realize, or at least what I've realized personally, is that, well, reading starts to become a little bit harder. But reading is a lot better because the information per second that you absorb from reading is a lot faster. Right? When you look at these three words in front of you, right? Affection towards reading. Like, I can scan that and I can know what all that means and read them all out in my mind in 1 second. But if I read out affection towards reading, that's maybe 1 second, 1.5, 2 seconds, right? So the absorption of the reading is a lot better. But what do you think?
So I agree with you. My style of reading is actually more of doing. So when I read something, right, I also jot down notes so that it kind of like stick inside my brain, like, instead of me reading out loud, because I'll tend to forget whatever stuff I read. So I like to just type out notes, whatever things I read. And this is something that I actually found out from Buffett's one of his videos, or many videos that he actually share, right? So what does Buffett do is that every day when he wake up, right, he always read 500 pages of 10Ks, or in Malaysia we call it as an annual report. So that is his standard day of living as an investor. An investor, he just read annual report every day. And I believe there's one company, I think it's an oil and gas company. He kind of read 50 years of annual report before even deciding to do it.
This is Charlie Munger, not
Charlie Munger. Munger. Okay.
He didn't read annual reports. He read Barron's, this magazine, which you guys can subscribe to also for a small fee.
Okay. So similarly to reading also, so he read a lot, but he didn't invest in the company because I think he wants to understand even further. He don't really understand, right? So once he kind of grabs the company, then he only start to decide whether he should put in money or not.
That's right.
That is, as an investor, you have to be very passionate about reading.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the second point is curiosity.
Yeah.
I mean, a very simple question only. You just need to keep asking why is this happening, right? Don't perceive the things as it is.
Yes.
You need to be you need to always think outside the box. Like you want to say, why is I know this is a little bit controversial, like why is 1 + 1 = 2? So you want to think like why can't 1 + 1 become 3, right? Or something like that. Yeah, you always want to think like the meaning behind of this term or even statement.
And then there's that old 5 questions that we always use when we're young, right? What, why, how, when and who.
Yeah.
Right. These are, very important sort of elements, right? When you go into analyzing stocks, right? For example, you want to ask for why. I mean, why, there's a lot of whys, right? But then like who's behind it? What do they do? How do they do it? And what's the last one? When did they start? Things like that. Understanding the chronology and the timeline of every company, I think is very important so that you can know the story a little bit better when it comes to analyzing investments.
Yeah, so if you apply it to stocks, right? So for example, like the glove industry, which we're going to be doing a deep dive in the 1st of December. So basically, why is the market actually paying a premium to Hartalega as opposed to other gloves makers, right? It's because, I mean, their technological know-how is more advanced. Their operational efficiency.
Supposedly.
Yes, correct. So I think you also need to find out why are they paying such a high price to earnings? Why is their revenue growth much better or much more efficient? Yeah, so these are all the things that you want to know as an investor. Okay, so the third thing is, I think not many people will actually realize is that, we got stamina, right? But we also got stamina in terms of research and reading.
Absolutely.
It's like not many people can actually go research like very for 10 years or 5 let's say even 3 years or 2 years.
That's true.
So because this stamina is what actually differentiate you against other investors, is how passionate and how consistent are you with your research. And by consistent I mean reading and
I think that's very true. You also have to know, like, for example, how your own circumstance and also your own personality and things like that, because I know of investors who have day jobs. So they spend the first 5 days working and all that, and then maybe they come back, they read a bit, that's about it. But then they really spend the weekdays, putting in, 5-6 hours Saturday, Sunday to read up and research, and then, put on investments and things like that. So I think understanding where you're at, because stamina is not just about like how long you can maintain at that pace. It's also like knowing when to rest, knowing when to just like tune out and go do something else. Case in point is that, someone like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, they like to play bridge. There's this game that I like to play as a spare time, right? So they read and analyze stocks. Then after that, they, go play games. Right? So you need to know like yourself and what you're choosing. I think like sports is really important. I think that, no pun intended, helps with stamina. I'm not talking about the physical stamina. I'm talking about the mental stamina.
Feel good hormone so that you can like do even more stuff afterwards.
But however, I want to add this, right? So when we think of work, we typically think of like, 8 hours a day, let's say, right? You need to put 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, give or take. And what you will realize is that when you start to analyze stocks, is you will realize 3-4 hours in, right, you will start to get very tired. You start to like, then you might be thinking yourself, right, like, hey, like, am I just being lazy, right? Because typically, right, if you go to work or whatever, you are 8 hours there, right, and then here you are analyzing stocks, and 3-4 hours in, you're already very fatigued. Nothing to worry, because you have to understand that most work out there, right, don't require as much brain work as, let's say, stock investing, right? Let's say if you are you're running a restaurant, right? There's not a lot of brain work involved, right? You're just there collecting cash or like wiping tables or what, right? Nothing wrong with that, but that kind of job doing for 8 hours is a lot easier actually than actually thinking and researching and asking all the what, why, how, and when and who for even a couple of hours. So one of the beauty and the challenges of investing stamina wise is that you are able to just work for 3 to 4 hours a day, not because you want to do it, because that's pretty much all you can do. And so like when Warren Buffett say he reads 500 pages a day, right? This is a very important note that unfortunately Buffett does not tell you. He says a lot of things, but a lot of hidden things behind it. The reason you can read 500 pages a day, right? And if you guys have ever tried to read 500 pages a day, it will take more than 3 to 4 hours. And reading is one thing, you know. Actually understanding it also takes time.
Yes.
Correct? Now, why is it that Buffett can read, quote unquote, 500 pages a day? The reason he can do that is because he has done a lot of reading in the past. And so when you give him something new, right, he's able to skim through very quickly. So, you know?
Yep.
So he's able to shortcut.
Yeah, because there's a habit already lah.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's like a framework.
Like he's read that
inside.
before. Like he's read it before.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
skip.
Yep.
Right? That's why when he recommends like the intelligent investor, he usually follows up with the intelligent investor book, for those of you all who don't know. He always follow up with, you know what, guys, but the only 2 chapters you need to pay attention to is chapter 2 and chapter 8. He'll always say that. So it's not about like how much you read and, you know, counting scores, like how many, I read 500 pages.
Yeah.
That's not like how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be able to read and get the essence out of it. It's not a competition to see how fast or how many pages you can read.
Yeah, it's always about what can you learn from the particular book lah. Apply knowledge more than knowledge. Yeah.
Exactly. Alright guys, if you didn't know, we have a one-on-one mentorship program where you can apply for, where we level up your stock investing based on tailor-made solutions. If you're interested, you need to apply. Not all of you all will get into an interview. It's only 20% of you all will do it, and even fewer will get to hop on the program. But if you're confident that you can qualify, you can click on the link and fill in your details in the comment section or the description.
Okay, so the fourth part is that you can actually screen through every single stock. So in the case for Bursa, there's about 1,010 stocks. And I mean, I think there's nothing much to comment on this. It's just that you have to, if you really want to be the top investor, you have to go through every single stock and then discover the hidden gems in these 1,010 stocks.
100%.
And and the fifth thing is that I think not many people will actually learn about this is basically accounting. I mean, you cannot run away from accounting if you want to be a great investor. I think accounting can be as simple as you when you're doing your budget. So like you see on the picture on the right hand side, right? It's basically you want to find out what's your income, expenses, then what is your net income. So that net income is actually quote unquote your net profit lah. And then your expenses is like your operating expenses. So if you know budgeting, accounting should be quite simple for you lah.
That's true. That's true. I think it helps because I think they call it the language of business.
Yes.
So it tells you like how people value different assets, right? Whether it's an aeroplane, whether it's an acquisition, things like that. I think it's very helpful.
Yep. Okay, I think this is the last one. Okay, so the last bit is, we know that we always preach about ticker, right? Because I mean, they have a lot of data already available for you.
They're probably the best.
Yeah, they are the best. But then some of the data may not be that up to date or accurate. I mean, as if you compare the annual report data versus ticker data, right? You see there's some disparity between both of them. So at the end of the day, the best tool is still Excel. And by Excel, it's not just the application, but you keying in the annual, the financial data from annual report onto your Excel sheet. So,
there's actually not a lot of things out there that is better than Excel.
Yes, correct. Speaking. So this is an example of one of the company that I was analyzing, and on surface it looks pretty simple because this is just a profit and loss statement only. But if you scroll down, right, there's like the whole list of balance sheet item, cash flow statement items. So actually there's more to that. And I mean, it's actually a very simple task only, but not many people do it because it's very tedious. And it's very monotonous. But if you actually key in, right, you can actually find a lot of interesting data. So you can actually plot something like this, like this kind of interesting graph. Then you can see like, like cash is actually growing. And then you can see, short-term debt is actually also growing.
You can see trends.
Yes, visually. Correct. Not only just numbers, but you can actually make them more beautiful.
And the thing I like about Excel, so I mean, ticker also does show like analytics, but the thing with Excel is that it really breaks down all the details for you if you are Rajin enough or hardworking enough. But what you're able to do is to create your different types of analytics. So for example, if you want to know, like if you want to compare operating cash flow and net profit, let's say through ticker, that's relatively easy. They have a function, you just click, right? Fantastic, right? But then let's say if you want to know how much what is the revenue per employee? You can't do that.
Yep.
Then you want to know also, like they have certain companies have factories. Which factory makes the most money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
like that.
a little bit difficult to customize. Excel, Excel you can
allows you to customize. And you will realize as you grow as an investor that you will move on from a lot of these different
software
financial tools. Not because they are bad or anything, it's because now you want to find deeper insights. And in order to do that, you cannot just look at the operating cash flow, the profit and all that stuff. You need to break things down. You want to calculate, for example, right? For every dollar they spent last year in CapEx, how much operating cash flow has that resulted this year and then the year after, right? So that is, I think, one of the big advantages of Excel. You're able to manipulate and you'll be able to creatively think of new insights just by keying all this data in and presenting the data as it is and as comprehensive as it is.
So the way I would sum it up with all this is that your software or global data, right, is used for you to screen companies that you just want to screen through like 5 minutes or 3 minutes.
Exactly.
And then Excel is when you go deeper into the company and you want to analyze what's happening inside the company.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so actually that is a reason why we actually did FIRL Pro.
Yes. Yeah. So because, for those of you who don't know, we have this new program, brand spanking new program. It's, I think, 3 months old, right? And we call it FIRL Pro. And you realize that a lot of this work done is quite extensive, right? We always like to say you need at least 100 hours per stock before you decide to buy or sell or do nothing. And we recognize that a lot of people are actually struggling with putting in the work. Rightly so, sometimes because you have kids, you have your job, you're whatever, right? But maybe you still want to invest. Maybe you do recognize the value of research. And so that's why we gave birth to this thing called FIRL Pro. And essentially, these are short 5 to 15 minutes reports, right? Where you don't have to read 500 pages. We summarize all the salient point for you so that you can shortcut your research journey. We already have to date 12 reports. There are a few stocks that are in 3 months, they're already up, I think 40%. 40%.
Actually 2 months to be exact.
2 months to be exact. Some of them are actually not, really, some of them do lose money, but they're a lot smaller compared to the gains.
Correct.
We also have big picture reports where essentially we are able to sort of forecast the economy in a 3 to 6 month time frame. When the first report came up, we were already saying that inflation was going to slow down. Inflation has already slowed down, so there's a lot of benefit to reading this sort of reports. And then the last bit is that when we meet management, right, private meetings that is not open to the public, essentially, we do take down notes, and so we can give you this special, unique access insights to them if you hop onto the program.
Yes, agree. And so if you want to know even more details about FIRL Pro, you can actually check out our link of our free sample. There is actually our SIB program and also one of the FIRL Pro's report and also one of the big pictures report. The links are everything in the description and the comments below. So if you want to see the free sample, it is all there.
Fantastic.
Yes, and I think that's about it.
Yeah, guys, look, hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know if you want more details about this program. You can just send us an email, and if you really want to know a lot more, we can even hop on a Zoom call with you to explain what it's all about. But even if you don't sign up, guys, we always appreciate your support. Follow us on our other social media channels, like, comment, subscribe, the usual stuff, and we'll see you in the next video.